All right, welcome, welcome, welcome. Week 3 is upon us of the Associate Diamond Club season. Everyone's starting to click in. First things first, while we let a few in, grab an oil. There must be one close to you if you're a doTERRA wellness advocate. Now I'm going to watch the camera and see who has to stand up and go. Oh, Michelle had to stand up and go get one. She's back. Now Deb's up and running. She's going to get one. Britt's
Yeah,
back.
my cabinet's just there.
That's okay. I forgive you all because last week I forgot to do this. So we do this in our team calls and things like that. But it's a great way to start out every call just to make sure that we're all using it and we're a product of the product, right? It's amazing. I'll tell you just quickly, in the last last month, I suppose, Vanessa, she's not on this call. She's just hit, no, she's in the US, but she'll be flying from Phoenix to Utah tomorrow or tonight our time. But she'd be super proud because I have doubled down big style while she's been away on the use of all of our doTERRA products. So I'm hitting all the subs double hard, using oils, diffuser is going. Sumi from Cabarita Beach, Australia. You're so cute, Sumi. You've grown and you're a girl now. I can see this Zoom was getting used for a class or something. But yeah, so I'm going with pettigrain today, otherwise kind of nicknamed man's lavender. So love it. All right, before we get cracking, today we are going to be talking about how to invite business builders to come and join you on this journey. And we have two kind of amazing bookends to bookend this learning for us tonight. First off, we're going to start with Lisa Costa. The Lisa Costa with a Coster, unless the other Lisa has just had a heart attack, because she's also a Costa with a K, thinking, I didn't know I was going to be presenting tonight. I'm not ready.
A bit of heads up would have been great, Paul.
Yeah, I like to just spring it on people.
Hilarious. There's two Lisa Costas. I mean, what are the odds?
I know, exactly. Luckily, one has a C and one has a K for a sort of start of the surname, so it's workable for us. But so we wanted to do this because it gives us two different perspectives. So Lisa has recently made it to silver, I want to say sort of 4 or 5 months ago, and is in the stage. Yeah, absolutely. Let's celebrate that. Thank you, Cedar. I appreciate you for leading me off and reminding me to celebrate every little thing. But Lisa is a weapon. I think she's kind of one of those stealth weapons, though. She's like an underutilized asset that she doesn't even know how good she is and see herself, but just recently she has. So she's stepped into the next better version of herself, and she is going to share with us how she has attracted new people to the business in recent times in order to help her rank advance. So that's kind of number one. And then stay tuned for the second part of our hour together where Anastasia, who has just popped back in screen there, who's waving at you, is going to share her experience from the blue diamond level of kind of the other end of the spectrum. So a wealth of experience that she's going to bring to the game tonight to be able to help share with everybody how it is that she invites as well to the business. So I'm just kind of introducing tonight, but I will just get turned over to Lisa and let her go. But let's use the chat. Let's make sure that we have kind of plenty of questions in there. Anything that you've got to offer in there, please do. And let's get it over to Lisa. And if we have time at the end, we'll have a nice Q&A session. So, Lisa, take it away.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Paul, for that wonderful introduction. I feel that perhaps you might have oversold me somewhat, but let's see how we go. Okie dokie.
No chance.
So, for a little while, Paul will tell you I floundered, and then I had builders, and then I didn't, and then I did nothing. So when you do nothing, you get nothing, and nothing happens, and you go nowhere, quite literally. So I picked up on the vibe in the last couple of calls that people feel a bit icky about calling builders. So I decided that we should call them impact partners, or you can call them whatever you like, co-creators, whatever you want to call them. But for the purpose of the call tonight, I've decided to call them impact partners, but essentially they are partners that we build together with. So leadership is about who you bring with you. Just going to flick through the slides. Okay, so together we create wellness and impact. What to look for in an impact partner. You want a product lover, a go-getter, a people person. A little crazy is good. If you've ever been to a doTERRA event, you know that crazy is probably almost a prerequisite to partner with someone in doTERRA. People who love to connect with others with a service, or people who are engaging, intrigued, and who want to better themselves and others. All right, so customers use the products and partners share the products. Partners create duplication and stability, and who you choose an impact partners, who you choose as an impact partner shapes your business future. All right. So why impact partners matter? Well, growth comes from duplication. This alone tells you that the business is a we business and not a me business. So the more we's we have, the bigger the business will be, okay? And hopefully the more successful it will be if you're picking the right people. And I often think of this because when I had no builders in the beginning, it was like driving a car with one tyre, and I didn't get very far. So I often ask myself, have I ever tried to drive a car with one tyre? And I'll often ask other people, how far did you get? Impact partners help to create stability and momentum. And just like our foundational wellness products, our impact partners help us to become strong at our roots so that we are stable in our trunks to support our growing branches. But let's get clear right here. We are not inviting everybody. You're discerning and selecting who you want to align with. I have really fallen into the trap, but I cast the net really wide, and I invited this girl to partner with me in business, and she said yes. And when I went to meet with her, she had built an ebook, and I spent ages with her. She's a friend. She's someone I've known for quite a while. But when I first asked her, she said, Lisa, I don't think I'm people-y enough. And I said, well, if you think doTERRA is built on people that are people-y enough, then you're being misconceived, because doTERRA has a lot of different kinds of people, and some of them are, more introvert than extrovert, and they can still make a very successful business partner in doTERRA. And I spent hours with her that day, and I left, and she was full of excitement, and so was I, and I haven't heard from her since. So be really selective with who you ask. Okay, it's really important. If they're really not feeling it, that's okay. They might not be interested just yet, but they might evolve and want to partner with you down the track. So a lot of it has to do with mindset. So more than a customer, impact partners are sharers and leaders. An impact partner craves purpose and connection and sees opportunity, not just a product. So they're more than a customer. They crave purpose and connection, and you'll probably find, and what I like to look for is how other people are attracted to these people as well. So I think it's handy to, if you know them or if they're in your space and you're watching, just check and see who, how people surround themselves around this person. That's often a good indicator they're a great connector. And of course, they align with visions and values. That's really important. So identifying an impact partner. I like to spot potential, passionate and caring people, and people who enjoy being of service to others. So the sharer in your community and someone who's passionate about helping others often is already doing things that are impacting other people. The natural leader in your circle, there's always people around us that are natural born leaders, and someone that others look up to. The friend who dreams bigger, the one that can't see the stars but aims to reach them. I love people like that because they just never stop dreaming and never stop aiming, and they're just great fun to be with. And the one craving more freedom, the one who is tired of the hamster wheel, the 9 to 5, the mundane, kids to school, them to work, pick the kids up, come home, all of that. We have a lot of freedom in our job and what we do. And I think it's a really important point to point out when we are sharing this opportunity with our people. There's also nothing better than someone who's a visionary and looks beyond the here and now. as I said before, they're the people who aren't just looking here at today, they're looking at next week, next year, and where they want to be down the track. And when we're offering the partnership, you want to be thinking about someone that you enjoy to be with and you can see yourself growing within the business. Someone who is prepared to grow themselves as they grow their business, because this job, not a job, this business, this joy that we get to do is all about growing ourselves while we grow our business. Am I moving too fast? I'm not looking at the chat, so.
No, you're great. Go for it.
Awesome, cool. The invitation. So we spotted the potential. We want to invite intentionally. And most people love to be identified as being of worth and having strengths or a strength or strengths. But being picked or chosen because of a particular thing that they have or they can do it actually makes people feel really, really special. And I feel like in your invitation, it's important to outline that so that they feel that they're of worth and you've already identified that in them. So yeah, identify why you've selected them. It's really powerful. I've got notes, I'm actually not reading them. And then when I get caught up, I look at them and I've already said what's in them. So here are some of most of them are my most favorite ways to ask people. I call this the straight shooter. Hi, Paul. If I chose you to join me as an impact partner in my business, is this something you would be interested in discussing with me? Well, the truth is I've already chosen you, but you have choices. And I'd love to discuss this further with you. Are you free to chat tomorrow?
Yes. And I think that'd be a good choice for you, for me to join you. That'll work.
I'll see you tomorrow. Selection is gold. And who doesn't like to be chosen and identified for their strengths? But I guess it all depends on what that something is. Like if you're being chosen for something, you really want to know what it is. So make sure that you can outline what it is you're inviting them for or to when you meet with them. And I'll cover that a little bit later.
So Lisa, are you going to come back to the real life story around this one or not? Is that part of your presentation tonight?
Maybe. What's the real life one about that?
Well, you actually use this
I do. That's my one.
Yeah, and this, like, I want to kind of highlight this a quick second in case Lisa doesn't, and because she will never kind of pump up her own tires, but she used this to get her recent builders, and it's exactly like in her. Forget reading the script. Kind of just tell us a little more about what you did and how you call this person up and who you were thinking of and what it was on the back of. What created the moment where you thought this person and this is how I'm approaching them, and then this is how I'm going to get them on board.
Okay, so it was leadership. I came home from leadership in February and I think I was fed up. I wasn't fed up with what I did because I love what I do, but I was fed up with doing it on my own. I really literally had one builder and I had legs that really needed, raising. And I sat on the lounge after plenty of kicks in the backside to get a wriggle on from Paul. And I thought, how am I going to ask people? What am I going to say? And I mulled that over for a little while. And then I just picked up my phone and sent a voice clip to a girlfriend of mine and said exactly that. That's exactly what I said to her. And I giggled. And before I'd even put the phone down, her reply came back and it was a yes. So 2 of my other friends who are also in my business got asked that same question, that exact same way. And they too said yes on the same day. So 3 builders in probably about 15 minutes, I think. Because after I sent it, all we could do was giggle. Like it was the funniest thing. They've been in my business for a while and I love them. And they're exactly like me. They're crazy and they're people lovers. And why did I not think to ask them like that before?
So what was their response like, Lisa? Like I know this story because, it was kind of happening live and you were telling me what was happening as this was happening several months back. But what was the response like? And then what next from there kind of thing, just quickly before you get back into your presentation, seems I've hijacked it. But I want people to know this.
Yeah, well, it was a pivotal moment for me because I just got that excited. It inspired a lot of excitement for me. And I just kind of went nuts, not necessarily asking everybody. I became really selective in who I wanted to work with. But the response, like I said, from the first lady I asked, she said yes within, it would have been seconds. And then she rang me and we were both giggling. And she said, I'm so excited. And I said, probably not as excited as I am. And so, yeah, she's plodding along at the moment. She's got a bit on a plate, but she's still trying to do the thing, and she's still given it as much time as she has to give it. But one of my other builders she's enrolling a lady in Thailand. She's got a lady in Scotland. She's got 2 or 3 from New Zealand that she's enrolled herself. Her daughter's now enrolling. So I don't know. I feel like I have some frustrations over the fact that I just didn't get out of my own way and ask that question exactly like that before I did to those people, because they've been around for so long.
Yeah.
But
well, look, carry on with your other ones, Lisa. But I just wanted to highlight that a little bit. And you can see in the chat, it's kind of landed with people, because just that, that permission that you give other people when you take action in a certain way, and other people feel like, you know what, maybe I could do that. If Lisa can do it, I can do that.
We just made it fun, Paul. But the fact that I said, oh, well, you've got choices, but I've already chosen you, like, it was real cheeky. But that's me, and that's how I roll. And they just laughed and loved it, and they were all in. It was so exciting and so much fun.
Fantastic. I love it. Carry on.
I'll roll on. Division spotter. Hey, Adam, is Adam Barrow on this call? I'm picking names out of the crew. I've been really intentional about who I'm choosing as an impact partner in my business. You came straight to mind because you're such a natural at insert their strengths, connecting, leading, whatever you've identified in them. Would you be open to a chat tomorrow about what that could look like for you? Boom. And you expect that they'll respond straight away because you want to meet with them tomorrow. It's really important to identify their strengths because, like Paul said when he introduced me, he sees strengths in me that I don't see in myself. And we see strengths in people around us that they don't see in themselves. So it's really special for them to hear that and for you to highlight that in your invitation. The next one. The fun and friendly ask. This drives me bonkers. I'd never ever do it, but some of you might like it. It lacks clarity for me. I like to give them some information about what I'm doing. Hi, Rachel. So I've got this exciting project and I'm being super picky about who I bring in. You're 100% on my shortlist. Want to hear why? No, I would just scroll on. I probably wouldn't even respond to that. It just lacks a bit of, I don't want to know that I'm on a list. I want to know that I'm the one, and I feel like they should be the one and that's all they need to know. I don't think they should need to know they're on a list, because it actually makes it sound and feel like if you don't choose them or they don't say yes, that you're just going to go to the next one on the list. We don't want them to know we have lists. Of course we have lists. We want to work through, who we're choosing and where we're going to place them perhaps, but if they're not already in our business. But I just feel like that is something I would never ever deliver if I was asking someone to join me. Yeah, and actually I've got in my notes, I've said here, it's casting a big net over many, and it actually doesn't make me feel important if that was how someone was to ask me, because there is a list, albeit a short one. I don't care, I'm not interested, scroll on. That's what that's what I've written in my note. The dream bigger prompt. I know you've been talking about wanting more time, freedom, money. My wellness business is growing rapidly and I'm choosing another impact partner to join our team. As a brand lover and someone with exceptional product knowledge who desires more, I'd honestly love this to be you. Is 4 p.m. a good time to chat? 4 p.m. today, a good time to chat. I love it. There's no list. There's no hit and miss. It's clear, it's concise, and it's straight to the point. But you're identifying that the person already wants more and you've already seen that in them. And you've got the cookie. So you can show them when you meet with them what you can offer them with what we do. The community hook, it's another favourite of mine. Hi PJ, my business is growing as a wonderful hub of people who want to make an impact with wellness. I'm being really intentional about who I bring in. There is no list, it's just your name. Can we catch up about this today at 4 p.m? You could also add, I've chosen you because, and put a couple of their strengths in there. You know, I know how much you love and know the product or the brand, or how much you want to help people, whatever it might be. But I feel like that's another really beautiful way to invite somebody into the business to join you as an impact partner. So these are real examples that you can tweak. There's, except for the one that I said I wouldn't use, all of those styles have worked for me. They're short, they're direct, and they're heartfelt. And remember, you're intentionally inviting them at this point. You're not delivering a TED talk about your wellness business, so don't give them too much too much information in the beginning. And if you don't hear back from them, that's their answer. We're not going to chase them down. We're not going to harass them. They might need a couple of days. Tomorrow might be too soon for them. That's okay. Whenever they get back to you is okay. But at the next point of contact and where it's appropriate, let them know that that offer has no expiry, so that they know when and if their excuses move out of the way, or if they get some more free time in their life, that there'll always be an opportunity for them to be an impact partner alongside you. And don't forget to be gracious and thankful that they've considered the opportunity that you've given to them, even though they might say no, because I feel like they've still considered it and it's still a thought in their mind, and it could be, you know, next time's yes, or it could be the next phone call they make to you. The other most important thing I feel when I'm offering someone a position with me, to partner with me, is that they get to hear my voice. So it's done in a voicemail or a voice clip, or in a phone call, or face-to-face. I feel it's really important. It brings so much more to the invite. Your excitement, your energy, and your intentional selection of them is a vibe that they shouldn't forget, no matter their response. Okay, you're really excited about bringing them in, and it's a fantastic opportunity for them. But what are they saying yes to? This might be a question that they ask. They don't know. Okay, they might not know. They might have a lot of knowledge about what you're inviting them to. But you're basically, in 4 or 5 very short points, inviting them to a leadership and lifestyle, purpose-driven income, wellness and financial freedom, and a proven system and a supportive community. It's a bit like when you go to a job interview. Basically, what you want to know is how much you're going to get paid and what the hours are going to be. So what's in it for you? I often say, and I said it to Rachel the other night, the only radio station people listen to is WIII-FM. What's in it for me? You have to outline some of that for them, because if it's real fluffy and you're not direct when you meet with them, they're still going to be lost as to what you're inviting them to. So let them know. Never forget to include the impact they will have on their own lives as well as others, because that's what we do, right? Fears. Oh my goodness, I sat in fear for way too long. Grab your balance, take a big breath. This is not about you, it's about them. And it's no different to inviting them to your birthday party. You don't just invite randoms to your birthday party. You invite people that you really want to party with. This business is no different. You invite people that you want to be, you know, bring along on the journey with you, and, you know, impact their life as they impact others. As Paul always says, clear is kind and unclear is unkind. So be really clear when you meet with them what it is that they are coming to join you in. And they are totally within their rights to reject your amazing opportunity. And sometimes we're not ready for that, because we know how fabulous it is and they're a little unsure, but they may say no, and that's okay too. Duplication. That's everything about our business. Everything in doTERRA is duplicable. So generally, the way you invite is the way they'll invite, or something similar. So you want to keep it authentic, keep it simple, so it's repeatable and it's easy to do. But for me, ultimately, I hope that my people invite in a way that is completely authentic for them. So they're not stumbling over words, and they're not stuck with what they're saying, but they know how they're going to ask, and they just do it with absolute clarity. Now, a call to action. I've mentioned the build guide here because I feel like this is a really underutilized tool, and we are so blessed with resources in doTERRA. You might have a list. They won't like it or feel very valued or selected if you tell them that. Like I said before, don't share your list or don't share that you have one. But the build guide is full of valuable information to guide you and your new impact partner. So don't be afraid to share it and go over that with them once they've said yes. It's clear and easy to read, and it helps your new impact partner see the potential and approximately what kind of time they're going to need to give the business, depending on where they want to be or where they want to grow or go to. So it's very clear, and it's super simple to explain and to sit with. It's not overwhelming. It's a great guide. So if you're not using your build guide, dig it out. Your homework is to invite 3 people to explore being impact partners, or whatever you want to call them, co-creators. But choose intentionally and with clarity, lead with purpose, but share from the heart. It's the true place of authenticity. And that is my TED Talk today.
Lisa, well done. Loved it, smashed it. We've got some questions for you here in the chat, though. The first one at the top here is Jules. She asks, are these scripts just for people who are already using doTERRA, already customers?
I did use them on ones that were already customers in the beginning because they were people that I knew, loved, trusted, and I'm going to be really honest. It made it really easy for me. It made it really easy for me to ask those people because they knew me and I knew them, and they knew exactly when I asked them that they would get it the way they did. But you could still do the same thing. You could still identify that you've chosen them because of, and wrap it up in whatever you've seen in them that you want to invite into your business.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. I would use it with a person who I just want to do this business with me. I wouldn't wait and get them to. What if they don't want to become a customer? What if they're not like into natural solutions to health per se, but they could blow up a massive doTERRA business if you invited them to the business, but they never joined the product, then you missed out on an awesome builder. So my advice would be ask everybody that you think is the right kind of person, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, next question from Britt. How do you do these initial asks? Is it by phone, by text, face-to-face? What has had the best results for you?
If there's an opportunity to ask face-to-face, always do that. Because as I said, if they can see your face and see your excitement and experience that vibe that you're putting out, that's pretty hard to say no to. Like you're not gonna have someone walk up to you and you're gonna go, "You want to join me in business?" Like you're just not going to do that. So you get really excited because you're passionate about it, and you really want them to join you in the party. So it's a party. So yeah, I feel like face-to-face is the best. Voice clips, I love a voice clip. I'm a big lover of the voice clip because again, if I can't see them face-to-face for whatever reason, they can hear my voice and they can hear how excited I am.
I think that answers Tracy's question as well. Voice clip ahead of a phone call. Here's the thing, guys. You've got to stack the odds in your favor, right? There's certain ways of communicating where so much is communicated that's nonverbal. So when we're talking to someone face to face, I think it's said that something like 70+% anyway, I'm not sure the exact figure now, is nonverbal. So what they're getting from you is not the words you're saying. It's all the other cues, all the visual stuff that they're taking in. How does it feel? How does it look? What's the excitement level? What's the shiny, joyful, all the things, right, that are on your face. So in our team, we talk a lot about stacking the odds in your favor and using the methods of communication that are more likely to get you the result, even though they're sometimes more uncomfortable for you. And remember, the growth zone is outside the comfort zone. So if you want a result, something that you want the most of, it's usually in your blind spot or in this thing that you're ignoring, the thing that you're refusing to do, right? So here's the kind of communication order or hierarchy you should go for. Face-to-face is number one. If you can't do that, video call, whether it's a WhatsApp call or a Zoom call or a on Facebook call, but with video, so that you can still see their face, they can see yours, you can see them shining. Their intention and attention level is much higher when we're on video, which is why I ask all of you guys to come on these calls on video and get everything out of it you can. Because you've got to get more coming on video than if you're sitting there folding the laundry and checking dinner and all the things. So that's the two. Third one is voice only. Fourth one is voice message. After that, it's, text message, email, those kinds of things, right? And very few people have the ability to convey real emotion and clarity of thought and feeling in the written word. And it usually takes, it's like reading War and Peace, right? And people look at it and go, oh my God, I haven't got time to read, your 4 pages of dribble. So connecting face to face, connecting in the way that's going to stack the odds in your favor is so critical. I really, really recommend that. Lisa, you're adding these invitations to your introductory workshops. Are you adding them to your introductory workshops? Do you say anything at your workshop to invite to the business? What do you do there?
It depends. I don't often invite straight up. I let them know about the business in the workshop, but it's a bit like casting the net really wide. Again, I really want to be intentional. If they're new to a workshop, I might not even know them. But if they set my interest on fire, I'll ask them. I will ask them at the workshop, and it'll be something like, I really believe that you'd be an absolute gun at this. Would you be interested in having a conversation with me tomorrow about the business? You'd be great at it. Like, let's have a chat about that. But yeah, I guess because of that experience I had with that girl that I really wanted to help. She was in a bit of a crappy situation, and I really wanted to help her when I invited her to the business. And when I got there, she seemed prepared and ready and really excited. But I seriously have not heard a word from her since, and she has stopped using her LRP. So I don't know what I said or what I did, or actually we communicated probably the day after that, and then from then on, absolute ghost town.
Could be all kinds of things. Everyone's got stuff going on in their life. If you tried to get hold of me in February, I was unavailable for consultation. I was with my dad for a month and a half. So you never know, right?
But not everyone's your person either. I think we had a conversation with this before with Kim Poro, and 100%. We were talking about, they might say no to me, but they might say yes to Paul, or they might say no to me, yes to someone in my downline. Happy days. Like, it doesn't really matter as long as they find their person. That's important for them as well. So
yeah, absolutely. I love it. I learned a script today. Anastasia was on the same call with me, and it's 10 words to add to what you're already doing, but it was so powerful. I loved it. I want to share it with all of you. So this is from Tara Bliss. She says, I teach people to use these natural solutions in their everyday life. And then here's the bit that she adds that's so powerful. And I also teach people to do what I do. So it's out there at the beginning of the class. I love teaching on natural solutions, and I also do teach people to do what I do. And it's out there in the beginning. It's like, wait a minute, I could do what you do. So add that into what you're doing right away. All right, Lisa, thank you so much. Let's shower some love on Lisa in the chat, and throw some love hearts up in there. She was awesome. Thanks, it's always Paul. A little nerve-wracking for someone to have to do this first time out. So I think you did a smashing job, Lisa. Well done, darling. And the content was brilliant. All right, if you've got more questions, pop them in the chat. Lisa will be here for the rest of the call. Let's change gears now and switch over to Anastasia. Anastasia is going to take the stage and share with us what she does when it comes to inviting to the business. So take it away.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to be on the call now. I can't answer your questions, but I can answer. I did put
what a cutie.
This is Sumi. He loves to be in on everything, and he just like, did you just leave a love heart? I said, yes, I did a love heart because she did a great job. She took half of my content, so No, this is great. That was just.
It means it must be good content then.
Must be good.
It must work. If you can get to Blue Diamond using it, it must be good.
Sorry, Anastasia.
No, it is all good. This is it is brilliant. Thank you so much, Lisa. And yeah, I loved those scripts and all that you shared about the energy we bring and our intent. And so I'm going to share my screen because this is part of, oh my gosh, where are we? Allow. Okay, can you see my screen? Yep. All right. This is not playing game with me though. Here we go.
Yeah, you just need to go into slideshow mode. Yeah, presenter mode. Yep.
Okay, here we go. So I wanted to, oh gosh, why is it not playing? Here we go. I wanted to read this out to you. This is something that was written by Ange Peters. And when I read it, I just loved it so much. And it is something that I love to include in many calls with the business because it's so important to be reminded. So here's to us, the ones that aren't willing to experience life as lukewarm. We believe in the wisdom of nature and the brilliance of our body, who are more committed to living a big life than caring what other people think about it, who impact through example more than words, who understand the power of choice and habit, who are loyal to our growth and goals, who know that health is a daily devotion, just letting someone into the room, who see the world through a lens of gratitude, who know that our self-care predicts how we take care of others, who live the truth and speak it when needed, who pour into others because we are full, who live an abundant life, who have the audacity to live our joy in a world full of grumbling, who understand that nature knows things the lab doesn't, who invest in the tools that circulate health, who are the example of ownership and gratitude, who make love their most consistent habit, who make our actions our prayer, who are in pursuit of our potential, and who know we will always go farther together. This is the foundation of the state, the feeling that we even think about inviting someone into the business. Because we want to, I remember Paul was maybe it was Seth Resume, but Paul was the one who delivered it to me, was who has the cookie. And you mentioned it, Lisa, and it's understanding what is the cookie that we have. Because to be a person that represents these words, that lives a life true to these words, is something that people want. It's an attractive field. It's something that people want to move towards. So when and I can maybe even put this into the chat, you can read it to yourself before you go and even talk to someone, before you even send a message or the voice message or the call, or you call someone, that you are reminded of who you are and your audacity, your courage, your choosing a life that is like this. And this is really fundamental to inviting anyone into the business, is your posture, how you're holding yourself, how you are thinking about the business, how you're thinking about your future. Really, all of that, as Paul was saying, like 70% of our communication is nonverbal. All of that comes through when we're talking to someone, even on a text message. It does. We're energetic beings. So my computer's not playing ball. Here we go. So another thing to really remind yourself of is to go through, what's the cookie that I'm offering? We have the largest essential oil company in the world, the most tested, most trusted in the market, used by doctors and hospitals worldwide, ethically and sustainably sourced. We work directly with the farmers, 120 markets open now. This was a little while ago. Compensation plan is genius and amazing. High retention rate of 65%. Privately owned company, incredible ownership team, and debt-free with no outside funding. That is really a rare gem in this world. So this is the cookie that we're actually offering people to come and take a bite of. So just broken down to the very simple, bare basics of what it is to, and then this also pertains to the essential oils as well, but specifically tonight, we're just talking about the business, that we want to connect and then invite them to what we're going to present them to, and then we're going to enroll. And you see there with the number 4, we've got 3 people in the enroll. I'm going to talk about 3-way calls. These are such a powerful tool that are highly underutilized in network marketing. I think particularly in doTERRA, a number of other network marketing businesses use it a lot. But I want to really encourage you to lean into 3-way calls, because they are a powerhouse. And even, I would say I'm trying to remember how far along I was even using 3-way calls, particularly for business partners that I knew just needed that extra, that I knew would just love and really appreciate seeing someone who's further along. I was using them even, you know, further down the track, maybe, I don't know, even as a platinum diamond. But connecting, I wanted to talk about when someone was asking questions, are you giving these scripts to people that are not using the oils? Now, you can absolutely do that, but the preface is that you have a connection with the person first. We don't want to be cold calling people on the business. We don't want to be even meeting someone and going straight to the business. We want to have a rapport. So number one is connect. We want to building a rapport with that person. And, you know, there are people that are skilled that can do this very quickly. And that happens when you've done this enough, you can do that very quickly, and you can understand about a lot about a person very quickly because you know the questions to ask, or you know how to position to get someone to start talking about themselves. But depending on your skill level, that may take some time. It may be quick, but that's a very core part of being able to invite someone into the business effectively, is actually having a connection with them and knowing something about them. So we're going to go a little bit into some of the questions you can ask, but I love what Matt Hall says. He says, say less to more people. So we want to actually be asking questions and getting more information from them than the information we're giving them. In the beginning, it's a really important part for them to see that it's about you're connecting the actual invitation to what's important in their life. So connection is a really important part. Then you're going to be inviting them to an opportunity to present to them. Now that may be I think Rach put in the chat, a cup of tea, catch up for a cup of tea, catch up for a coffee, catch up for a juice, whatever it is your vibe is. Or it can be a three-way call on a Zoom. But you want to be, I want to catch up with you, and I want to present to you this opportunity that we have, this cookie that we have that Lisa so beautifully described. And then you want to and you want to leave that person with the invitation. And then you want to actually then set up a three-way call for that person to be able to ask any questions that's come up. And then you want to really leverage this three-way call. So I'm going to talk a little bit about three-way calls. The beauty about three-way calls is that we are borrowing belief. So sometimes in the beginning of business, it can be difficult to have the confidence to boldly talk about the business you're not currently earning the diamond income, you're not currently earning the gold income, but you're shooting for that and you're presenting that as an opportunity for the person in front of you, but you're not currently actually experiencing that yourself. What we do in this business, which is so amazing, is that we borrow other people's testimony, we borrow other people's belief, their confidence, their certainty, their posture, their knowledge, their time. I had that little video is someone that's been walking, she's walking in the fields. She's walking in the fields of lavender. She's already walked this path. We get to borrow that for the invitation. It actually builds up the confidence for the person that we're inviting in. So what a three-way call does is that you've built the trust with the person because you've had a connection with them. So they are willing to get on a call with you because they've built some level of trust with you. You respect your upline. So you have that beautiful respect that they will be able to witness. And you get to edify your upline for the contact to then have the respect for the person that's your upline is holding the three-way call. And it's building trust. So it's building confidence, trust, and respect by just having, and even if you think you can answer all of the questions, even if you have all of the answers, even if you know doTERRA by the back of your hand, still having your upline, having someone who's further along, who's been in it for longer, will actually just build the faith for the person you're inviting. Maybe it's not even, you don't need, maybe you feel really confident to speak about it. I mean, this is really great for when you're not feeling confident, but even if you're feeling confident, it's a very powerful tool because it's more about them than about what you need. They are receiving another person's testimony. They're receiving more evidence that this works. And they're also starting to see that this is a community. They get to experience, wow, okay, so this person has someone helping them to do this call. There's a support network here. So it's really powerful. Now, I pulled this from some trainings that we've put together for our team. So I don't know why it says part 2, but we're part 1. But this is an example of some dialogue that you can bring into the 3-way call. And if you like, if everyone here really wants it, then I can put a little script together and it can be sent out to everybody. But to actually to do a 3-way call is to be edifying your upline. You know, we use the example of Natalie Goddard. We're so lucky to have Natalie on the phone. She's in high demand, generously giving us 20 minutes of her time so that you can set up expectations. Natalie, thanks so much for joining us to support Zach with his questions, with his introduction to doTERRA. And then you can edify them, tell them how wonderful they are. This is obviously not true. 5,000, I mean, Natalie, I think it's like 2 million or something. It's a lot. But, you know, whatever the situation is for your upline. So this is a really great opportunity for you to say, hey, how would you like me to introduce you to the person who I'm bringing onto the call for your upline? And then it just gives you an opportunity to then step out of the way and let them have a connection, a moment. And this is saying about oils, but this is also, you can also just do this for the business. And it's also a training time for you. So if you haven't done many business calls before, then you get to train. So you get to take notes. What did Natalie say when Zach asked this question? And what, you know, I really love that phrase that they used. Oh, okay, I'm going to put that in my pocket. So you get to actually get training in your 3-way call. So it's a win-win-win-win-win situation with 3-way calls. I really love them. And it's really great because not only can you utilize 3-way calls, but then the people that you're inviting into their business, they can be utilizing 3-way calls straight away. Or a 4-way call. Maybe you're not feeling fully confident yet. You can have a 4-way call. So your person that's inviting someone else, as well as your upline and you on the call. So it's just a very powerful tool that we can use. So in some verbiage of how to talk about the business, how to maybe introduce, so say you've had a connection with somebody, and maybe even it's in a situation where you haven't had a lot of time with them, but you're feeling like there's enough rapport that you can actually start to ask them questions about their life. A simple introductory, like a simple gateway phrase is, if I could show you how to have better, and obviously this is a slide for either you're talking about the oils or you're talking about having another income stream, would you be willing to come to a class? I'm doing a business class. Or would you be willing to meet up for a coffee? Would you be willing to have a call with me and my mentor? This is just a very simple verbiage that is just sparking the possibility for someone. So this can be when you maybe don't know someone very well. Maybe they haven't used the oils before, but this can just be starting to open the gateway. And this kind of verbiage, you generally don't have people saying no. And then, you know, obviously the names list, which we've talked about, you guys have talked about, Lisa mentioned writing a list of people that you want to talk to, but obviously not letting them know that you have a list. We've confirmed that that's not something that we want to do. But I find that having simple little lines, like Paul said before about, I can teach other people what I do as well, but having something like, if I could show you, would you be willing to? And obviously you fill in the blank because you've got a connection with them, that you've understood what's in it for them. If I could show you how to be part of something, how bring some more, purpose and meaning to your life, give you an opportunity to serve and to be part of something really meaningful and exciting, would you be willing to meet for a coffee? Whatever it is that you've identified is actually really important to them, because there's so much in doTERRA that appeals to different people. You know, for some people, I was recalling when Paul said, what if they aren't a customer? The biggest team that we have on our team, they did not come for the oils. They fell in love with the oils and they're complete advocates for it, but they came to a business training. That was their first introduction to doTERRA. They came because they wanted out of their financial situation. And they came and they're like, yeah, this looks good. Okay, I'm going to join. And they hadn't experienced an oil at all. So I will second that and be a testimony to that is literally the biggest organization in our team is that team. And so don't limit yourself to what is it that doTERRA offers. It offers an income stream. It offers purpose. It offers community. It offers, you know, health solutions. It offers people a way for people to have a voice and to connect. Like there's so many different things that people are hungry for that doTERRA offer. And so that's why it's really important when we have the time to connect, to build a rapport, to listen, to understand. Tell me about yourself. Tell me about your life. Tell me about your dreams. What, you know, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years? What are you wanting to move towards? What is it that lights you up? You know, getting to understand somebody, then you can position the conversation in a meaningful way. And I find that is, and how for me has always been the most powerful way to invite. I haven't been very successful at inviting just randomly. Like it doesn't work for me. I really think that rapport, it opens the gateway, and you know it's also really important that we care about the person, that we're actually interested in that person, because we're going to be partnering with them. If they say yes, we're going to be partnering with them for a very long time. So we need to be interested, care about them, invested, and that doesn't need to be rushed. Like if it takes, you know, a bit of time, that's okay. I do remember in the beginning, I might have been a bit zealous and might have just, you know, rushed that a bit because I just wanted business builders. You know, come on, let's just go. But I definitely learned along the way that you can't rush that, and that the good ones are worth waiting for. And building the rapport makes a huge difference. And people not feeling that you are invested in them and care for them, and that you're offering it to them because you have listened to something about their life and you're meeting a need, it makes a big difference. So I'm sorry, I have not looked at the chat. Is there anything I need to address?
Not
Oh, yeah.
specifically to you, but I got one here I would like you to talk to a little bit, Anastasia. It's from Stacey, and the question is around, is there a general guide or ratio of how many impact partners or builders that you'd want to have on board if you're aiming for a certain rank? So if you're aiming for elite, how many would you want? How many, if you was premier or silver, how many might you want? What do you think is kind of a good ratio to go for? Knowing that you've got to handle it, right? You've got to be able to have the time to coach and mentor and take care of these people. I mean, yes, the answer is 1 million, but can you give 1 million what they need to succeed?
And yeah, okay. So what I see from my experience is that you don't need a lot, but to get to the ones that do, you need a lot. So it's like you actually don't need that many partners to be really successful in doTERRA.
Yeah.
But those partners, to get to those partners that actually do go with you, you move through a lot of people. And so
sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, no, you go.
My opinion of that is, you know, no matter what rank you're at, I think once you always want to be kind of, as soon as you get to, you know, that rank, you need to be thinking, when do I need an extra leg, right? So if you're, you know, at Premier, you need 2. So I would start out beginning going for having at least 2. But I don't think you want just 2 builders. I think you want 2 with one underneath, at least one underneath each one, so that each person is feeling partnership and progression and strength and momentum, not just, oh, this is all on me. to get to 3,000 or to get to 2,000. So, you know, I think you've got to layer it. So your top prospects at the top, and then builders under builders is definitely what I think to go for, so that you have each person's got someone else that they can partner up with and do things with and do events with and do online stuff and just ideas that they can throw around together. All of that's really critical. And then when you're after that, you need 3 leaders to get all the way from Premier through silver, gold, and up to platinum. So
Exactly.
I would say at gold is when you start looking for your 4th leg for diamond, 2 ranks before you need it. So if that helps answer the question a little bit for you, Stacey, strategically, but you don't need a ton, you just need the right ones. But to get the right ones, I always say to my people that it's always girls pretty much. So I say, you got to kiss a few frogs to find your princess, right? So you got to go through a few people to find those special ones.
And there's also the reality that people will play at different levels in doTERRA. So there can be a bit of a danger in just calling them all builders, because someone might be say, yeah, I want to be a builder, but they're going to do maybe elite, share a elite kind of activity for their whole time. But they consider themselves a builder. They're taking the opportunity and they're so precious and valuable and really, really wonderful to have in your team. And having multiple of them, they bring so much and they receive so much from it, and there's joy and community. But then there's builders that, the builders that want to go to diamond, that do go to diamond, that they're a different category. And then there's builders that like build to silver, gold, and they're happy there, like that. There's so many different types of builders, and that kind of, you can discover that along the way, that someone will say, yes, I want to build doTERRA, but what that means to them is very different, and what that will look like for them is very different. And so I always encourage people to look for builders and sharers, people who are just willing to I want to share, like people who are really great at community, even people that might not seem for themselves that they want to do doTERRA, but you can be leveraging them and say, hey, do you know people that I'm looking for, people that are wanting to create additional income streams or even replace their income, people that are looking for location freedom, people are looking for an opportunity to be able to lift the lid on how much they can earn without always doubling, instead of just doing overtime, they can actually increase their income without increasing their time. Do you know anyone like that? And they might be people that they've kind of already categorized themselves out. They may volunteer themselves, or they'll know other people. But I think that they're considered, like, having those kind of people in the organization that are sharers that then bring builders. They're so precious. And so, the numbers of how many builders, there's oranges and apples in there. They're all different. But we definitely, like, 3 is like it's such a solid, having 3 solid partners that are moving towards growth with you will take you all the way to platinum, which is amazing. And and then you want to also think about that you're not bringing every single builder into your team, that you're wanting to duplicate yourself into those people, and that also takes time and energy and nurturing. So not to make it too complex, we just want to focus on being bold in our inviting to the business, and just feeling like you're supported, that you've got everything you need to do this, to have the conversations, to set up the 3-way calls. So Lisa sent you with some homework. I'm going to send you out with some little homework too, for you to reach out to your closest upline that is silver or above and say, hey, I want to set up some 3-way calls with my new prospects, because Lisa has told me I'm going to have 3 invitations. And Anastasia told me I need to talk to you because I want to set up 3-way calls with these people. I want you to tell me how you'd like me to introduce you. Tell me times that you're available to have these calls, and even, maybe even just have a chat with them about what the calls would look like and how they'd feel comfortable about that. But I think that would be a really strengthening exercise for you to do, so that you can set up your support network, and how that then duplicates. When someone sees that there's a network of support, and then that gives them like, wow, I don't get to do this alone. I get to do this with support. It's so encouraging.
I love it. Thank you, Anastasia. I think there was lots of new content there. I don't think there was some overlap, which is always the way when we dish out the same kind of topic to a couple of people to get some different perspectives. But it's amazing how much there's so much crossover all the time. I wanted to just kind of highlight a few things between what Lisa and Anastasia said, as in case you don't have these as takeaways, guys, that you can really lean into this week. And the reason we put this topic up front early in Associate Diamond Club is we want you to be taking action with this now, because what you do with this part of the business now, the action you take from this call will determine what your business looks like 6 months and 12 months from now. No question. Like, it's the biggest thing you can possibly do is invite partners to share the journey with you. You can go out and enroll 1 million customers, but if it's all on you to do the building and all the things, it's a long, usually slow, and probably lonely road compared to all the joy and fun that you can have when you partner up and share it with others. So just to recap a couple of things, you'll notice that what Lisa and Anastasia both do and both recommend is they're inviting you to a conversation with them about what this might look like. If I was able to show you, would you meet with me? And Lisa's kind of one, you've got choices, but not really, because I've already chosen you script, which is, I can't remember what's it called now. I want to call it the ballsy script, but it's something else.
It's the straight shooter, but you can call it the ballsy script if you like.
Straight shooter. And I think your terminology is probably a bit more palatable for the masses, so let's stick with that. But what they're doing is they're not trying to sell someone to join them in the business and getting them on that first call and then fire hosing them with information on fast start and power of 3 and year level and comp plan and best products in the world, and got this kit, got these oils, got the supplements, got MetaPower. Let me tell you about MetaPower. I mean, have you got your blood sugar problems? And you start doing this with people, and it's like, oof, doesn't sound like fun, too much for me, thanks but no thanks, Les. So the point is that you don't do any of that. The first step is that you're only inviting them to a meeting, to a conversation, preferably if you don't feel confident or experienced enough with, as Anastasia suggests, and I 100% agree, and for those that I coach on this call privately outside this, Elise, I can see her on the screen, she would know absolutely that I'm always offering, let's set up a 3-way call, let's do it, bring them to you and me, and let's do it together. And that's where Elise learns, and then she's had that skill set duplicated, then she doesn't need me anymore, as an example. But the person gets to borrow belief and borrow that kind of gravitas that comes with someone who's already walked the path and has already kind of got some skills and some runs on the board and some success, right? So they can see that, yes, this is doable. And she just seems like a pretty normal girl, Anastasia. I mean, yeah, like, she doesn't seem like she's got 12 heads, and maybe I could do it too. So that's really, really critical that you remember you're inviting them to a meeting or to a conversation. You're not selling, this is what the business looks like, this is what you have to do, this is how many classes per week, this is how many hours you need. None of that at that first interaction. The first interaction is purely invitation only. And you'll notice that both Anastasia and Lisa, their delivery with that is all about authenticity, a certain amount of excitement. So they're projecting, this is going to be fun for you. You're going to have more joy in your life if you get on the bus with me. And there is some kind of a call to action. It's kind of like an act now thing. Like, when can we connect? When can we talk about this? It's like the time is of the essence. And when you communicate like that, that drives action. That drives people like, oh, mate, this could be a sliding doors moment for me. I don't want to miss out. I better take this opportunity. So I think that's really, really critical to do it. And then again, definitely use that 3-way call being method if you have access to, we've all got an upline, and you just get into your upline listing in your back office and find one that will talk with you and help you. You can see like 7+ layers up. So there's always someone that's active in that. So Lisa and Anastasia dished out homework for you all. I'm going to dish out some homework for Anastasia and Lisa, if I can be so kind of bold. Can you guys put some of those scripts and slides and things in the chat? Everyone wanted them. I've got people that want to print out that one from that you read out at the beginning off the top, Anastasia. People want that on their wall. So I think that's going to be inspiration. I loved it. I already took a screenshot and popped it in the chat, but it'll be a poor quality sort of screenshot. So if you guys wouldn't mind doing that, we would love you for doing that. And then you'll be able to find that everybody in the WhatsApp group. Go to the name at the top of the WhatsApp group. And then in the menu under that, you'll see media, links, and docs. So you can click on the whatever they put in, whether it's a media or a document, and you'll be able to see it there. For everyone else, you got homework delivered by the teachers tonight. So remember that your homework is, Lisa's homework is, you got to go out and invite 3 people. Use those scripts and invite 3 people. And Anastasia's homework could not be more perfect as well to add to Lisa's. You then got to go and find your upline who's going to help you on those calls and invite them to it. Michelle's not up. That's pretty easy because I know a few of yours, so you got plenty who would do it.
No, I've got the amazing, authentic yourself and Adam, so I'm quite grateful for that.
100%. We're definitely there for you guys. All right, let me just quickly chat.
I wanted to say one last thing.
Yeah, go.
Is that, and Lisa actually touched on it, is that you don't want to convince someone to do the business. It's like, it's just going to be painful for you. You do not want to talk someone into doing the business. You invite powerfully, you offer the cookie, and in a way, it's kind of like you need to hold the mindset that you're interviewing them. You're not trying to convince them. You're not trying to sell them. You're offering them something quite valuable, and it's for them to take up. If they don't take it and you chase them and you convince someone to do it, it becomes painful. So don't ever think you need to convince someone, because you've got the cookie and you will have people come. The right people come. You want the right people. You don't want lots of the wrong people. One good person is worth 1,000,000 wrong people. So just know that you've got the cookie. You don't need to convince anyone. You are a wonderful person that people will want to partner with, the right people to partner with, and you will have a wonderful business built on love.
Love it, Anastasia. Thank you. If someone can pop the link to the WhatsApp group in the chat, that would be really helpful with someone who doesn't have it. And Karen's got a question. Is the first interaction to gauge what they want? Karen, I'd say the first interaction is from your side to work out, are they committed and capable? And they need to be both. Capability can be taught, committed cannot. They have to offer it. They have to bring it, right? So the very minimum is that they're committed. They're prepared to work with you and be coachable and teachable and take action. So yes, you want to fill that out. And for them, it's for you to be able to explain a little bit about what doTERRA is, why you chose doTERRA, and kind of infuse that into them so that they go, okay, well, this is the company, this is what it stands for, this is what it's about. And we can talk about things like healing hands and different things like that, and give them that to go away with. Give them a couple of your favorite co-impact sourcing videos to go away and watch. I do that all the time. I send a Vetiver one. And if someone can watch that and not feel affected, then they are not the person for me. Like, if they go, yeah, mate, great. I'm like, good, go away. Not my people. But if you watch the Vetiver video, I nearly cry every single time when those people get clean water for the first time. It's like, even after all these years, whenever I watch that, it's so powerful, so emotional. So use these tools we have to help people see what you see and feel what you feel about doTERRA when you're inviting them to partner with you, because you want them to understand that this is something bigger than just, come and sell some essential oils, right? We're not here just slinging essential oils. We're doing so much more. So that's really, really critical. Use those tools. And I talked to them a little bit about what they want. I asked from them, what is it that they would like to get out of it? If they can have some extra income, how much would they like to get, and how many hours would they be able to put in for that? And for how long can they do that? And I put that up while we're teaching and going through the growth periods and all the learning. It's kind of a feel out kind of conversation, Karen, just like a couple of friends over a cup of tea, which comes back to what Anastasia said. It's got to be with people that you have a connection with. You know, I wouldn't do it with a random stranger, right? I know people who do this, you know, build their business just purely like emailing real estate agents or people who can sell and got sales skills, and they make a success of it. But that's them, and that's not me, right? So we've got to do it our own ways. All right, there's a question here, Jules. What if someone is showing interest but they have blocks to make it happening? I can see where with her she is just stepping back in work and after becoming a mum, 2 young kids, to maybe a timing thing. So I don't want to convince her, but also don't want to go elsewhere when she's ready. So I think the three-way call thing, Jules, is really, really powerful. If you can do that and have someone come into it. Look, you know, so many people start this business and they get to grow their business while they raise their family. They don't have to put themselves and their kind of goals for themselves as an individual aside because they have a family. You get to do this around your family at whatever pace you want. So I don't think having a family is an impediment. We've had some amazing women that are single mums go to Diamond and beyond in our team, looking after 3 kids and doing all the things. So it can absolutely be done.
Paul, can I just speak to that question that Jules asked? First of all, does she really want it? Is it hard work? Does she really want it? Because if she doesn't, and even though you want her to be a part of your business and you can see potential in her, it may not be a timing thing. It may be that you may not be the right person for her. I don't want you to feel bad about that. I just feel like sometimes you could end up in that situation where I did with my friend. If she's not ready and it's not the right time, and you know, maybe she's feeling overwhelmed. But the other thing you can identify is that what we do isn't separate from what we do in the rest of our life, like Paul just said. Single mums use oils and they share oils and they talk about oils and they support their children and their family with oils. So maybe just reassure her and say, when you're ready, this conversation doesn't have an expiry date. Please come back and chat with me. I'd love to help you out with that. Something like that. But, you know, you're right, it could be a timing thing, but I feel like she may or may not be your person. And if she goes elsewhere, that's totally up to her. Don't feel bad about that. Don't feel like you've done anything wrong. They have choice. But yeah, just reassure her that it's not separate from being a mum or going back to work. She can actually talk well.
Totally. And I'm happy to help, Jules. I'm happy to have the conversation. I do come from, you know, probably, you know, more covering the business side of things than the aromatherapist side. So perhaps maybe that might be the difference. But I am creative about how we can kind of mesh other people's existing life and business with doTERRA. So that's something that I can do well. So yeah, message me if you'd like to do that. Next week, one more thing. I had a couple of people message to say, they're finding the chat overwhelming. Guys, the WhatsApp group is there so that you guys know that you're part of a large group of people. Like, I think there's about 170 something in there that are all pulling in the same direction, all going the same way. That's what it's there for. So it's there for you to sort of cheerlead, to share your successes, to ask questions. It's not that you have to read every single chat. So if you're feeling any level of overwhelm about that at all, just press the down arrow button and get to the bottom and assume that everything above is all good vibes and you're fine, right? The main idea of this is for you guys to be able to learn the skill sets of what it takes to build this business successfully through these calls, through the training calls, but then, you know, to know that you're a part of a larger community in this space. And that's why the WhatsApp group, okay? Because there are people who are doing this who don't have sharers, who do feel like they're doing it by themselves, and it is a little bit of a slow and lonely road. So we want to make them feel like, you know what, you're part of something way bigger. Come and feel the connection there. But I tell you what, I read every single message in there and respond to as many as I can. And if you needed a dose of inspiration in the morning, then jump in there and have a quick read of like just a handful of messages and get your inspiration, because it's awesome. Jackie Isles, are you still on the call? Is she there? No, she's not. Okay, cool. All right. Well, we'll see you guys same time next week for our kind of next installment. We've got some more powerful things to be able to share with you, but we are loving all of the interaction, loving all of the uptaking and intentional action that people are doing. So I hope you're enjoying Associate Diamond Club so far. And I'd love, some people asked about the spreadsheet for tracking your activity and results. We were out of power here all day today, but it's back on tonight, thankfully, for this call. We'll have the spreadsheet emailed out to you tomorrow, so you can start tracking your activity over the last couple of weeks and keeping that. So sorry that didn't get done by today. I did promise it would be, but our assistant has done it, but I haven't been able to review it until I got power back just before this call. So anyway, see you guys same time, same channel, and share some wins in the WhatsApp group, guys. Go in there and share some wins. Share what's happening. Share what's good. Share the reach outs that you've done, the results that you're getting, because it gives everyone else that little bit of extra belief that, okay, this is working. I can do it too. And we'll see you guys next week. Thanks for being here.